Me dicen que estamos de nuevo en vivo. Vamos a tratar esto de nuevo. Le damos las gracias a todos que se han quedado con nosotros y vamos a intentar a ver si el problema que hay tecnológico, que no haya sido provocado por algo externo que hemos visto en varias veces suceder. Y aquí por lo menos me veo yo, pero ustedes me dicen si ustedes me ven. Y comenzamos aquí de nuevo el programa. Son las 7:13. Me dice aquí el horario. Quiero hablarle del amor. So I really want to talk about love, and I want to talk about love in a whole different way. I want us to think about love not only in the chocolates and in the commercialized way, and the diamonds and all of that fun stuff that they're goodies and they make people feel good and so on and so forth. If anything has taught me la pandemia, nos vuelve a recargar. La pandemia nos vuelve a recargar la importancia de tener a nuestros seres queridos, de poder hablarnos, amarnos, querernos, estar juntos, de poder, hablarnos, de no tener, yo tengo familia en Puerto Rico, me encantaría, yo a mi mamita no la he podido ver, me encantaría viajar a Puerto Rico y darle uno de esos abrazos bien grandes y no he logrado hacerlo. Pero ella está saludable, que es lo más importante. También pudo lograr tomar su primera inyección. Le dieron la primera inyección hoy, a mi tía también y a otros, a mi madrastra, a mi papá. Pero gracias a la tecnología, pues nos podemos comunicar. But sometimes we miss them. We miss the hugs. We missed the fun that we have together, my little brother and I in Puerto Rico. I had the privilege of spending some time with my brother here and the whole family, and it was very, very beautiful to be able to do that. But then again, everybody has to be tested. Everybody has to be, willing to oblige by the rules. And sometimes families are not willing to do that. So I'm sad to say that, but it is true. Sometimes families are not willing to do that. But we have to do that. Where am I going with this? Is that one of the reasons why I'm talking about the sacrifice of love es que muchos de nosotros no hablamos del sacrificio. No, I cannot see him yet. Del sacrificio que hacemos nosotros por amor. Y uno de los sacrificios más grandes que yo he visto, a José Vega, nuestro invitado de la semana anterior, hizo hincapié en ello, nos los trajo muy cerca, pero yo quiero hablarle un poquito de algo que sucede. Yo lo veo en las cortes, cuando hago abogacía por otros, cuando veo a los papás o a las mamás, a los tíos, a los primos, a las abuelas en las cortes, tienen que buscar un fiador, ¿verdad? Ese miedo, ese terror, ese dolor. So why not find someone that you can really trust? And that's why I was hoping we can get Joe today, because Joe is someone I trust. Joe is someone I, myself, in a moment in which I needed one. For a loved one, I definitely felt very comfortable with saying, would you take this on? And he explained to me the entire process and how it went. And he's well loved and well respected. So hopefully, eventually, he will come on and this technology won't be a problem. But if we won't have him today, I'm sure that we will have him another day. I hope he forgives us and we'll do so. And the reason you guys are probably thinking, pero un fiador, Lili, ¿cómo vas a hablar de amor y un fiador? Las cosas que hacemos por el amor. Un ser querido tuyo va a caer preso. Tienes la oportunidad de que si le dan una fianza de que puede salir, un hijo tuyo. Yo me acuerdo, y esto me dolió mucho, yo me acuerdo, y me duele y sin conocer la persona, me acuerdo que el hijo de una artista puertorriqueña, Melina León, tuvo un percance con la ley y nosotros fuimos súper, súper duros, los comentarios eran horribles. ¡Ay, Michael! So I want us to think about love in so many different ways. So why do I talk about a Bill's bonds? Why do I talk about someone you can trust, or the tears a loved one cries, or why do you need someone who you can actually trust? What do they do? And if you have seen mothers, daughters, wives, brothers, friends, um, think about how can I, if there is bond, how can I come up with this money so I can give my loved one a better chance? But you want to have someone you can trust, not just everybody, and someone who can inform you, educate you, and treat you kindly and give you the pros and the cons. That's really, really important. What are the pros? What are the cons? Many people have lost a lot of money because that didn't work out for them. Muchas personas cuando contratan a un fiador, ellos tienen que pagar, obviamente, al fiador y no le ha funcionado porque el ser querido, la persona a quien ha tratado de ayudar, pues no ha ido a la corte y esta persona, pues, ¿qué sucede? Uno todavía es responsable por el dinero. La razón por qué le traigo esta colación es porque estamos en un tiempo donde hemos visto en los pasados 4 años cuán difícil se nos ha hecho y cuántas personas se han visto en el intercambio con los centros judiciales, a veces innecesariamente. So it's always important that you have someone that you can trust, someone you can have that conversation with, who will show up for you. ¿Tienes a alguien que tú en realidad dirías, esa persona de verdad llegaría para mí? Hola, Saimar. Do you know who would show up for you? ¿Sabes tú quién llegaría para ti si estuvieras en un problema? Y las expectativas que tienes de esa persona. What are your expectations? What would happen if you needed someone to show up? Well, see, here's the thing. Many of us show up in different ways. A veces hacemos una llamada, a veces hacemos un texto, a veces tratamos de navegar el sistema social, legal. A veces tenemos que mantener un espacio para mantenernos saludables, ¿verdad? Pero cuando estás en la corte, las cosas son bien diferentes. Le tenemos un temor a la corte, le tenemos un temor a lo que va a suceder. Many of us are terrified about the court system. I work with brothers and sisters who have stories that are horrific about the way that they've been treated. I have brothers and sisters who have done time. And when I mean brothers and sisters, I'm talking about brothers and sisters by the blessing of Christ. And they have experiences that I wish I would never have. But here's the thing. What do we do when they come back home? What do we do when they show up at our door? What do we do? There's agencies like the Connecticut Partners in Action. There is agencies that will tell you that they're ready for their return. There's agencies that will tell you, hello, Marisol. There's agencies that will tell you over and over again that they're ready for this population. Even those who are ready are bombarded, underpaid, and underfunded. So the reason why I want to talk about love and how far we will go for love is, what does love look like to you? And this is the topic. ¿De qué se trata el amor para ti? ¿Cómo lo defines tú? ¿Cómo lo defines tú? ¿Cómo defines? Estoy tratando de contestar las preguntas a todo el mundo. Me escriben por acá, me escriben por allá. ¿Cómo defines tú el amor? ¿Tienes una expectativa del amor enfermizo? ¿Tienes una expectativa del amor poco realista? ¿Tienes una perspectiva del amor que te confunde mucho? So we're talking about love in the many ways in which love comes. So let's revise. Who would show up for us if we were in trouble? Who would we call if we needed someone? What is your definition of love? How do you think people who love you should express that love to you? Do we have a healthy relationship with people and the love that we want from them? Have we told them what we need? Is it possible for them to offer that? Do we have expectations from people that are almost impossible for them to live up to? This is all about love. I'll tell you the reason, and I'll be very, very brave. And for those of you who know me, know that I'm going to tell it like it is. One of the privileges that I have is that I've had about 3 years working with the Franciscan Center, which is part of St. Patrick, St. Anthony. And many brothers and sisters go there because they are in pain, right? They are in need of maybe a bus pass. They are in need of a meal. They are in need of a blanket. They are in need of goodies, of dignity packages. Johanna, you've done a great job at helping me. Thank you so much, Marisol. I cannot believe how kind and generous you are. Michael, you're the man. Always there. Juanita, I cannot ask any more from you. But what are we giving as love to people? What are we really offering as love to people? How do you define love? ¿Cómo nosotros definimos el amor? ¿Verdad? ¿Cómo lo definimos? José nos dijo algo la semana pasada que a mí se me quedó ahí, ¿verdad? Que a veces damos algo con la expectativa, ¿verdad? De que va a ser esa persona que en el regalo que uno le da. So, when you give someone a present, is it a present or do you have an expectation of how they're going to use it? Joe, there you are. Connecting, I'm trying. I know. I see you right up here. I'm going to put up a link and let's see, because we were just, oh, he's here. Can you hear me, Joe? How did you get so big?
How are you? I don't know. Yeah.
Hitting the bench. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. I can hear you well.
Okay, good. So we were talking about you behind your back.
My fitness work.
Oh my God. You're like monstrous. Well, I want to introduce you, Joe, but I will not do justice. But I will tell you what my experience has been with Joe. Fair enough for everybody? Will you allow me to do that, Joe?
Yes.
Okay. So I was in court one day, and the many times that I go to court and I have to do 3,000 things. But this particular time I was there with someone I care about very much. And I was looking for someone I could really trust if this person was going to be given a fine, right? Or if they were going to need to be bailed out. And I lost you, Joe, but I'm sure you're coming back soon. There you are. I think you are coming back. I think you are. Let's see.
Oh, hopefully. Jesus.
I know. Your camera. It's your camera. Soon. You're coming up. So while you do that, I'm going to give my introduction of my experience with you. Fair enough? So when I met Joe, I remember seeing him sitting in one of the benches at the court. And he could definitely see in my face that I'm looking around and there's some distress in my face. And he said, "Hi, how are you? And this is my name. And are you okay?" And I thought, oh God, is this another guy who's going to, is he waiting his turn too? And he said, "No, this is what I do. If you need any help." And I just took a deep breath. I was like, I said, "Would you?" And he said, "If I can." And we ended up having a cup of coffee. I remember that. You said, "Let me explain how I do this." I didn't need you that particular day, but I remember holding on to you like a child holds on to their favorite book. Like, I want this guy to make sure that people know he exists. Tell us, Joe, what is it that you do a part of kicking the jam's butt? Because it looks like that's what you're doing.
Outside of doing that, yeah, I started a fitness business as well because of COVID.
Oh, I didn't know.
3 years ago, I got a health and fitness coaching certification. I did nothing with it. I just kind of put it aside, just did my regular job, which is I'm a bail bondsman, and that's how we met. And
Yes.
so I went that route, and something in my life happened, so it also made me change my perspective on life. So that was also a motivator in itself. But doing what I do when I met you was just, our profession is known to have some people who only are in it for the money, and don't really take and look at what you're dealing with, the human being factor of a good person that made a mistake. And my job was to help that person get out of
Absolutely.
jail, um, help get into programs. Even if I had to walk you down a victim's advocate, if you had a domestic situation, um, whatever. That, me through time, that has been my motivation to help that person, let them know you have a friend, but you're accountable as well because you're out on bond. So you need to do your end of the program, go to court, do what you're supposed to do. If you need to go to a program, do your program, get yourself situated for your family, for your wife, for your children, etc. So that's what I've always taken into account. Where you had made a comment over coffee, you've known other bondsmen who have not really cared about doing those type of things.
Wow, you
So
remember
me,
that? That was a
with,
couple of years ago.
yes,
Wow.
I remember it perfect. And you actually, we had a very nice conversation because I had talked to you about, I deal with all kinds of people of different walks of life, and not everybody's born with money, not everybody's born with the great job, not everybody has the perfect car. Listen, who cares? You're a person. I do. And all that being said and done is, I have a heart, and that was my profession. That's how I support my family, and that was something I've been doing a long time. And I have my own little one-man company, and by doing those things, I feel good about myself because I've seen some people make incredible strides and changes in their life where I feel that I helped and I see them later in time. I may see them in a restaurant, I may see them in Dunkin' Donuts, I may see them wherever. And it's just a great feeling to know I was part of the success story for that individual.
Joe, how many times, and then I want to talk about your fitness, man. Um, Joe, how many times have you found yourself in a situation where you're thinking, this poor mom, this poor whomever who is putting up this money, who's getting into this contract, they're not going to see this. This is not gonna, that's because your experience has a lot to do with it. It's not that you're guessing or going against someone, is that you know the business well enough. Like I know my guys well enough where I can hit them upside the head and go, yo, you're playing me. Come on, give me the real story. How many times, because I heard that you have those conversations with people.
All the time. The thing is, I am a very nice guy, very outgoing guy. I care about people. But then I know when somebody's coming up with the BS. And I know when you're talking to me and you're giving me a song and a dance, because at the end of the day, I know my job. I know the court system, and I know how it works. It's not a perfect system whatsoever. I will tell you that.
Agreed.
I don't agree with a lot of things. But at the end of the day, you have to have basically the persona to understand you're the player in the game, and you have to play the game to get to your goal at the end of the day. And I'll have a conversation with somebody and I'll tell them, did you do this? No. Did you do this? No. Oh, they want to raise your bond today? Guess why? You weren't accountable to your needs, and your actions were wrong. So I have a stern part of me that takes these people, and I get a little bit in their face per se, but it's only because I care. And it's not that I don't care ever, because over and over and over again, I've been, forgive the word, screwed over for my efforts. So at the end of the day, If you don't do what you're supposed to do, don't complain. If you do what you're
Mhm.
supposed to do, I can walk you down the path. Simple.
Joe, I'm talking about love because I think it's important, and I'm using this commercialized world that we live in, right? My husband and I have been married for 20 something years, and we always laugh about Valentine's Day. And we do, I surprised him this year with a little card and a job lot gift card. That tells you how long we've been married, right? um, but I wanted to talk about the love that you probably see day in and day out of people making sacrifices for their loved ones, putting up money that they probably don't have, laying around.
Mm-hmm.
You see a lot of that.
I see a lot of that. I see mothers taking money out of 401k accounts. I see family members, mothers, fathers, whatever. I just say mothers because I deal with the mothers, seems like mostly. They love their little boys. And sometimes I'll tell the mother straight out, you're the enabler here. You're the one that's creating him to have this behavior because every time he screws up, you're bailing him out. But to get back to the monetary part, I work with people too. I do payment plans. I make things simple. I make it affordable. And I always tell them, well, you got this much you owe every month. You got a problem, you call me. I don't want your lights to shut off. I don't want any of those kind of things to happen to you. But we do need to pay this bond because there's accountability that I have to do on my end.
Right.
So does your son work? No, he doesn't have a job. I'll go to the son. Your job, your duties right now next is to go find a job and help your mother. And it's mind-boggling to me. It's not simple for a lot of people. I know that, but at the same time, it is what it is.
You sound like my husband. It is what it is. He's a military guy of 34 years, so he does a lot of it is what it is. And he also has a great heart. When you watch, there's something that you say that's really important, and it's very painful for a parent to hear that we are part of the problem.
Mm-hmm.
That is really, really hard to hear.
Yep.
Do you know? What is the most common response that you get from people when you say that?
If I look in the mother's eyes and say, you're the enabler here, I says, you bonded him out here and you bonded him out here, and he's doing the same exact thing. And he's arrested for the same exact thing. And they'll look at me and they go, well, I love my son. I says, well, if you love your son, maybe you need a little tough love. Let him sit in there a little while. Let him see what it's like on the other side of the world. There's people that are incarcerated and are being held on bond that can't afford to get out, that are tremendously awesome people. I wish there was a way that I can do something to help those people. But, there's laws and statutes that if I don't do right, I'm in trouble. So at the end of the day, you have to look at that person. When you get arrested, that should be an eye-opener in itself. Say, I don't want to come back here no more. I see them go in front of the judge, and I see the prosecutor, and I see the prosecutor in a very passive way berating this individual for repeating to come in front of the judge for very similar things. Larceny sixes, you stole a can of soda and you thought it was funny, but it's not. At the end of the day, that can of soda belonged to the store. You need to pay for it. You don't have a job? Well, maybe that's the answer to your problems. I see moms working 2-3 jobs. Dad's same thing. And I got parents that are well off and they own companies, and I bonded out doctors. I bonded out lawyers, believe it or not.
I believe you.
All walks of life go through this.
Well, brother, I must tell you, you already have some questions here. So, are you ready?
Go ahead.
It's nice to hear that someone who does such a difficult job has a heart. It's also nice to know that there is someone I can contact if I needed some help. I am one of those parents who probably is an enabler. My son is in his 50s. I always pray for him to get better, but his addiction is bigger than himself. God bless you. Thank you for what you do. I hope I never need your service again, but I would love to have your information. I always post information later on.
Okay.
So there's a lot of blessings going your way.
That's sweet. They're very kind words by that person. And she touched on one thing that was interesting. You know, she says his addiction is bigger than anything, and it's true. You know, somebody has an addiction. Addiction controls your life, and that's one of the main things with I would try to work with these people to get into programs. Well, we don't have money. We don't have insurance. Well, there's other ways to do it. There's programs here in Bristol. You can go walk in, and they have they call it a sliding scale, and they take you in, so you can address these problems.
What makes you want to do that, Joe? I mean, because that's like almost going into the social work line. It's like, because it's because you can lose some money. Let's talk math. Let's just talk math, right? You can lose some money.
Yep.
In that process. What inside of you makes you think, man, this person, if they just put a little bit of effort in there, they might be able not to enter the system again, or they might be able to fight that demon called addiction, or they might be able not to go back to the court for whatever reason. What's in there? What's inside?
Well, I come from a very, let's put it this way, strict family. My grandfather came from Italy when he was young. He only went to the 3rd grade. He was always passionate. He always believed in people. My grandfather was my hero growing up, and which I just lost my dad in October, and nothing against my father.
Sorry.
But my dad was not similar to my grandfather. My grandfather was more like me, or I'm like him, I should say. I should take that back.
We have that in common. I'm a lot like my grandma.
Yeah. But, you know, why is because it's a human being. It's a person. And a lot of people don't have the knowledge, or a lot of people can't get that one person to say, let me help you. Because you come in, the courts do this, go to this, do that, or we're going to put you in jail for 90 days. Those kind of things. There's nothing telling this person, this is what you can do to get better. We're just going to put you in jail for 90 days. You get out at 45 and you're back on the street with no education to help you surpass your addiction, or if you stole something or what have you. So all that being said and done, I feel it's important to educate people for what I know. If I can take a few minutes and talk to them. And I always would do, and you were there, you're a witness to me. When I was in the courthouse lobby, I was talking to people always. I didn't just stand there. There was other counterparts in my business that would play on their phones and do this and that. That wasn't me. Promote myself. Yes. I was also promoting and networking my business, but at the same time, if you came to me, at least you can say, hey, that guy gave everything he had. And I come from almost 20 years of coaching hockey. So that being said, teaching kids growing up, you know, it's almost the same kind of scenario. I'm coaching, and that's just something where I feel if you take people and you put your arm around them, you get more out of that than if you're harsh.
Yeah. And you have a lovely family yourself.
I do.
So
I have an amazing wife, so supportive.
And there are beautiful pictures of all of you guys. And you have a daughter, correct?
I have a daughter, which is mine, and I have 2 stepdaughters.
Oh, so you're like me. We inherited children. We're blessed that way.
I did.
So we're up to 3 children. That's how it is in this house too.
I got 3, and they're all, you know, they're all amazing. Those girls.
All girls?
All girls.
Oh Lord, I got at least one boy.
No, I didn't get that blessing. I all girls.
Oh, you're dead. You're dead after this. You said I didn't get that blessing. I'd go outside and go to the gym or do something for a couple of hours. You didn't say that. Tell us a little bit about what the pandemic hits. courts really get crazy. We can't do what we used to do. There's a lot of stuff that's being done, via same thing as you and I are doing right now. There's a lot of stuff doing virtually. Some of the stuff we can still do in court, and not everything is open full time. And then you open a business.
Mm-hmm.
What
Well,
happened?
COVID really hit the bail bond business hard. They didn't want to incarcerate, so pretty much, you didn't do something very, very bad, you were be able to walk away. It's starting to pick back up the other way, but plus legislation has made things different for our business as well. So I took my certification that I told you about, and I'm actually currently in a program to get my personal trainer's license as well, and nutrition license. So I decided to take some energy and put it into that. I had a friend that actually cornered me at a hockey game, and I was, what was I at the time? 246 pounds I had gotten up to, and I was not feeling good. So I decided to motivate myself in another direction. And I do this kind of virtual training just like we're doing today. And I just picked up 3 or 4 clients over the weekend. And it's really cool. Again, it's a form of coaching, and it's something I guess I have a good knack at, I would say. But it's helping people. Again, it really is. It's helping people who get frustrated with eating habits, or why can't I do this? They follow this program, they see the Weight Watchers programs, they go through this and they try it, and after 3 weeks they don't see any results. So again, you have nobody pushing you to keep going or make changes, answer your questions, so on and so forth.
And sometimes we need this. We need somebody to hold, to be in your face and saying, "Hey, Lily, did you do what you were supposed to do this week?" And me go, why not? Let's talk about, because maybe what we established may not work for me, right? Maybe I said I could get up at 6 o'clock in the morning and I lied to you. I was trying to save face.
Yeah.
maybe I can't get up at 6 o'clock in the morning and do that was 45 minutes, that kind of stuff. So if people wanted to reach you for your fitness programs and your coaching programs, how would they do that?
Well, I have a page. I'm actually working on an app, and we speak. It's going to be a little bit before that comes out. I have the same number for both businesses. Okay. My fitness business is called 2112 Fitness and Health. I do have a page on Facebook. I actually haven't promoted it much. So you can find my information there. And then I also have my bail bond page, as you know.
So are you going to do both?
Yes.
You are going to do both. Have you found yourself even thinking about picking one or the other?
No, not yet.
No.
Because I have a third entity that I'm doing as well. So.
Oh, so you're all over the place here.
Well, yeah. Well, my father, we have a family business here in Bristol. My grandfather started, and then when my dad got sick, I grew up there. I left to go into the bail bond business 13 years ago. And then my dad got sick in 18, asked me if I would run that business. So I've been doing that. And it's a furniture upholstery business. It's down on Route 6. And so that is like my main
And
job.
I must say, it's right next to the Dunkin' Donuts, right? The drive-through Dunkin' Donuts, which Correct. I would never understand because I could never go the right way. And the girls always laugh at me and go
off King Street.
I never do. I just go down Route 6 and I go around. It happens to be that we are from Bristol, meaning both of us are Bristol residents. So that's why we know exactly where we're going.
Right.
So what would be your message, Joe, for those of us who are trying to express our love to our children, to our loved ones, to when do we call you? Obviously, we are in trouble. We hear that we need our loved one to be bailed out. Has anybody after talking to you said, screw it, I'm not doing it?
Yeah. Sometimes I talk them out of it. And here's another thing, people go, well, you just turned down money. Yes, I did. Because the benefit of that individual probably staying inside is because they can get an opportunity, especially addicts. They do have a program. If you, as long as you're staying and you're incarcerated or held on bond, different word. They have it with the JRI referral program, which is they get a bed in time, and they get free treatment. And parents go, "Well, I want to get him out." Well, if you take him out, he's not eligible for that anymore because he's on the outside. So then you have to do your own thing, and they don't, because people are lazy. They don't want to put the effort into making phone calls, asking people, because it's a pain in the neck. So
and also we have a system that is not very embracing to, especially to men, because I work with a lot of men. I have a privilege of being embraced by the male population and serving them. And it's very different for men to like sit there and say, and and finding the root of where this addiction came. Not all addictions come from, hey, I wanted to party. A lot of it comes out of coping, and and this happened to me when I was a child. I have someone who I know who, oh my God, every time I see him I want to cry. At the age of 12, no, at the age of 7, he was already being given pills so he would go to bed and not be a disturbance.
And that just gets in your blood, and it stays in your blood for the rest of your life.
At the age of 7.
Yeah, and that's incredibly terrible. A lot of times with men, you had spoken about the frustration of maybe having a child or a couple children early when you're young. You don't have that great job. It's hard to support, pay your rent, your lights, your phone, get food. Kids want to do things, you don't want them sitting on the couch and doing this or that. So they cope in a different aspect. Drink a little too much, pills, you have it, whatever your poison is at the time. And it's awful. And again, having a voice that somebody can hear may help, may not help. I try. I don't succeed every time.
Oh God, no. I don't either.
Nope. But the thing is, at the end of the day, is yes. And the original question was, I have told mothers or fathers, you're better off letting him sit for a little while. When he comes back to court in 30, 40 days, whatever, let's address it then. And we do at times, and we do get him out, him or her, get him out at that point. But they come out with a different outlook because they spent 30 something days or so inside, not living normal life anymore. And it gets different. And the weird part is someone get in there and they make friends, and it's both sides. And so are you meeting the right people in there? Some do. Some meet someone incredible and they have friendships forever. You name it. It's like throwing darts.
When you go home, and you don't have to answer this if you don't want to, when you look at your girls, because I know that I'm on grandchildren. I got one that's 14, and I got
they're
one
all
who's
gone.
Well, mine are two. Mine are two. However, I have a granddaughter who's 14, and I have the baby one who's a year old, right? And I always look into, their eyes and think, God, I hope we're saying the right things. I hope we're louder than society or whatever it's being fed to you. I didn't grow up with social media. I didn't have all this kind of stuff. My mother would pop your teeth out of your mouth in a second. She had no problem doing that. She taught us how to drive. She wanted us to be independent, like work was work and you had to, be independent. A very, very different world. My father was an active alcoholic, never said anything negative to me. Didn't find his recovery until he was in his 60s. So I've had, both sides of that. And I remember being 18 years old and going into the court, asking the court to withdraw a child support order because I was already 18. Because if not, my daddy would have gone to jail.
Yeah, and that's another thing. The child support isn't given to the mothers. That's another thing. You're not making enough money, you can't afford it. And then here's the thing: after a while, if the mother pushes the issue, the state gets on the situation and either attaches his pay, or if he can't do that, then they take him in and they hold him on that X amount. And people go, oh, he got picked up and there, his bond is $1,500. I was like, okay, what was he picked up for? Oh, child support. I says, well, that bond means $1,500 cash, and until somebody pays that $1,500 cash, he won't get out. But then after 45 days, they can't hold him anymore. They let him out, and again, you're at square one again. So nothing was accomplished by that. But he spent 45 days in jail. Meanwhile, he's got 45 days he can go to work. He's got 45 days he can see his family, so on and so forth.
How often do you find yourself, because I know that, and I haven't told you this, but I heard you speaking to a woman who is a victim of domestic violence, and you were very, very kind to her, and she was shaking. She didn't know where to put her paperwork, and that's my area, so I could have helped her with that. But I watched you. I just let it go because I had my own issue that day. And you were giving her this great guidance about, this is how you put in the paperwork, but you have to be aware that this can trigger this and this can trigger that. And, and you were really good at that. And letting a young woman, because I remember she was very, very young.
And that comes again where coaching people through a tough time is so heartwarming to that individual, because the thing is, they're, for lack of better words, a mess emotionally. So they don't understand and they're not listening well. So you have to sit there and kind of, again, put your arm around them per se, and then just say, hey, you need to walk up and do this. But if you do this, this can happen. And if I remember right, that particular girl had a physical situation with her man, if I remember right. And that, when I explained to her, put your foot down on him now. You got him on the ground. Take advantage of this now to move forward, because if you let him up, he's going to do it again and again and again. And I've seen it 3-4 times. Couples come in, the girl takes them back. They're good for a while. It may be a drinking problem, maybe a drug problem. He may just have anger issues. Who knows? But at the end of the day, she needed to basically hear a lot of different things and let her make her own choices, because I can't tell her how to live her life, but I can definitely guide her to what could be a bad situation in the future or a positive situation in the future.
So if a judge says, and this is a give or take, of course, before you leave us, I'm sponging everything off of you.
No rush, I got time.
Good. So if a judge says the bond is $5,000, how much do I need to have that day?
Well, that bond is $500. But I could take a minimum down of $200, and then I would do payment plans for.
What's your guarantee that I'm going to pay you?
There's none. There's none.
I don't know another Bill's bonds that takes payment.
Yeah, well, yeah, they do. They do.
I never heard of one.
I can go after you and sue you, like, you didn't pay your credit card, but that's more of a time-consuming thing for me down the road than it's worth. But if I did something good like that, okay, I lost some money there, but it sounds really crazy when I'm saying it. I know people are like, "What's he saying? He just lost $300." Yes, I did. There might have been times I wrote a bond, took minimum down, knowing this, but I wanted to do something good, and I had the ability to help that person move on. And you make things up down the road. You don't really lose, but you do financially. But at the same time, they tell 5 other people, hey, this guy really, really took time and he helped us. This guy did this. This guy did that. And I think it's important.
You're the one I give out the number. I'm like, you want to go Joe? You want to call Joe? Do you ever take collateral?
I can. I don't. Let's put it this way. Somebody has a conversation, a $20,000 bond. Oh, I have a 2006 Toyota Camry. The car is not worth $20,000. They think the collateral goes to what they have to pay for the bond.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't work that way, because if that person's jump spawned and they take off, the fee means nothing. It's the value of the bond that the judge sets, that we look at. Because everything's a paper transaction until somebody skips bond, and then that's real money after that. As soon as that rearrest
Do you
comes
find
out.
yourself having to chase people? Like, I
Um,
skipped the bond, I didn't go to court, and now you have to knock on my door and be like, hey,
yeah.
you owe me money.
Numerous times that end of the world had to kick in. I hate that part of the job. People think, oh, it's exciting. I want to work with you. I want to kick indoors. No, it's not that. It's not TV. It's you're still dealing with the person that jump on. They have a child. They have a wife or a husband, a mother or father, whatever. Point is, yes, had to do it. A lot of times I would knock on the door. They'd answer the door, and okay, you want to go to court? We're going to go to court right now. Let's go. If you do this now, you come quietly. We do this. We get it done. I'll rebond you out. I'll help you. Let's just get you off of this one. It gets me off the hook, and let's get you situated. A lot of times it's fear.
Mm-hmm.
There's prosecutors out there that absolutely put fear in people's minds, and it drives them thinking, oh, I'm going to jail. I'm going to jail. I have people.
Blood.
Well, it's weird. I had a woman not too long ago. I bonded her out. She had a thing with her kids. It was DCF got involved. Absolutely making amazing strides today. I worked with her. In fact, her and I are friends on Facebook. She comments on a lot of my things, and she's amazing. She's working hard. But she would call me, especially with COVID going on, her court date kept getting shifted. So finally, there was a day she had to go. She called me up. Are they going to take me in? Are they going to take me? I says, well, did you do anything wrong? No. Did you do this meeting? Yes, I did. Did you do this? Yes, I did. You're fine. Just, they want you to do that. That's what they do. But the fear is in their head, thinking the worst, and thinking, I'm doing all this and I'm going to be okay. Drives me insane.
Yeah. Have you ever had a judge say to you, don't do this one, Joe? Don't do this one, Joe.
I've had prosecutors, defense attorneys. I've had.
I can see marshals saying to you, Joe.
Marshals, yeah. But at the end of the day, it's on me. And a while back, my wife and I, we went to a retirement party for one of the prosecutors in Bristol. And I met a judge from Britain. And I went up to her. I introduced myself to her, and she says, "What's your last name?" And I says, "Furnari." I know you. Uh-oh. She goes, "You're not like all them." Wow. Yeah, that hit my heart right there, and that's because, again, I don't go in there. I'm not flashy. I'm not loudmouth. I'm not.
Well, you sat with me the entire time while I was going through my anxiety attack.
Mm-hmm.
Which I didn't show very well, but I was definitely going through my anxiety attack.
You had your I could see it. It was there.
You're like, you're okay? And here I am, an advocate, right? I'm like,
Well, you approached me first, and I remember, and you had asked me my name.
Yeah, and then you went in to check up on me, and I felt like a 5-year-old.
Yep. And then we had that meeting, a little interview talk we had at Dunkin' Donuts, and we sat there for quite a while. I remember we went over a lot of things.
I was just impressed by the way that you handled that, and you never questioned why I needed to do what I needed to do. But you did have some really good advice for me. I can't say that I took it all, because I'd be lying to you. But I did take some of it to heart.
People never do. They never do. Because at the end of the day, you have to live your life. And I can only tell you what I've seen in a very similar situation with other people. And doesn't mean it's exactly going to happen to you or your case or your family member's case or whoever you're there for, a friend. Okay. It doesn't all mean it's all going to come out the same. And I always tell people that. People all the time, I'll bond them out and they'll call me up. Oh, I talked to my friend and then this is what happened to somebody they know. This is what's the other person's record like? Oh, I don't know. I don't know. What's your record like? Oh, this is my only arrest. Then you're fine. The court doesn't want to jam you up if they don't have to. It's a very thing that people need to understand is the courts are not there to ruin your life. The only person that can be accountable to ruin your life is your own.
Oof. Ow.
Think about it.
No, it's not one I can argue. And that's what I do for a living. So you got me, and you got me good. With us is Jerry de La Paz. Thank you for watching. Margarita González. Ketsi Garcia desde Puerto Rico. Elsie, my mother. Do not say anything negative about me. It's my mother. I already told you she will not DC. I'm 52 years old, and I still flinch when that little woman moves.
So am I. Who is your mother?
My mother's Elsie, but whenever
Hi, Elsie.
Oh, that little woman can move fast.
I believe it.
Oh, yeah. Simon is with us. Marisol is with us. Johanna Sherbert, who is an amazing person and activist in the community. And many others are with Mokoyoma, who's my daughter, is with us as well. Joe, if you were talking to anybody, and then we'll talk about how do we get into the coaching, because I think it's amazing. In this pandemic, and I would like to talk about that. If you wanted to leave before we moved on to your business, your coaching business, people with something to think about. When a loved one or someone they care about, it could be my neighbor, and I just adore my neighbor, and I don't want my neighbor to go to jail. Damn it! So, Joe, take him out. What should we be thinking about?
As far as
what should we make a pro and con list? Should we think about why we're really doing this?
Be a little more specific.
So let's say I have a loved one or a neighbor, and I'm thinking, okay, this is $5,000, $10,000, $20,000, $30,000. Should I really do like a pro and con list and say, what am I doing here? Is it in the best interest of this person to actually walk that journey?
Yeah.
If I'm honest, or am I doing this just so I could look good? Am I just doing this because I don't want my friends or the media to find out that, God forbid? Or am I just doing this because I'm blindsided by the love that I have for my loved one, or I just have a kid who made one mistake, and I know that if he gets your help, he's going to be fine?
I always look at it this way. It's always better and easier for you to fight your case when you're out. Because sometimes if you can't get out and you're stuck inside, you tend to take a quick offer to get out. If you're on the outside with a public defender or private attorney, whatever you have your means to do, you have somebody talking for you. And that's one thing I always say to people: get an attorney to represent you. If it's a motor vehicle case, you don't need one. But if it's something small, you don't need one. But when you have things that an attorney knows how to talk to these prosecutors, and they know how to reason with them, and they're your voice, and they know who you are, and they know what you do, and they know your life, they know your job, they know your wife, they know your son, father, etc., etc. Always get out if you can. Take them out, help them, because the outside there's more resources to make positive moves than they are if you're stuck inside. And a lot of these prosecutors, they got a pile of files about this tall. Boop, let's just throw this at him. He wants to get out, so we're done. What does that do for that person in 5 years? It's on their record. They're stuck. Their life isn't tremendously better. They go for a job interview, and what happens? that comes up right in their face, and it's still there. And that's the thing that sucks about the judicial system. They don't care about your future. You do. So you got to do what's best for you.
Wow, that's great advice. That's great advice. How do we get in contact with you about, I mean, this is really smart of you to really say, okay, the pandemic has hit my business, my traditional business, which has hit mine as well. And how do we become, hey, we got to make money, right? And people say everything is not about money. Well, I'd like to pay my mortgage. Thank you very much. So I'd like to do that. So you have someone who approaches you, you hear them out, but then you take it to the whole different level. You could have just gone to the gym and gotten some coaching and just done that. You said, nope, I'm taking it all the way. How's that going? And how do people get in contact with you?
Very easy through Facebook. Joe Furnari, just friend me on Facebook. I got a Messenger, or I got my 2 Facebook pages as well, Furnari Bail Bonds or 2112 Fitness and Health. You can message me there.
So you said people can do it online. So if I wanted to hire someone like you, we could have something like this going on?
Yeah, correct.
I don't have to go to the gym. If I'm one of those people who I'm like not ready to go to the gym.
You can do workout exercises in your home. And the main thing about fitness is, and people don't understand this, is 80% of it is your diet. 20% is the workout. But you have to do both.
My daughter says the same thing. She's been in she's done this for a while, and now she's going for physical therapy. But she was like, people don't understand what you put in your mouth is half of the,
It
I was like, really? Because I'm on that treadmill. No wonder I'm being successful.
Listen, if you make bad food choices, you get on that treadmill, you are just wasting your time. So, it all comes down to eating a very, very good, healthy diet. And the most amazing thing is that people don't understand. Me, I eat 5 small meals a day. And in between those 5. And in between those small meals, I make shakes, protein bars, fruit. Yeah, I eat like crazy. And then the thing is, I did a body scan at the fitness place where I was getting coached myself. And I do it once a month, and I burn 2,000 calories sitting down doing nothing all day. So I eat like 3,000 to 4,000 calories a day. That's me, though. People want to lose weight. We work on that for you. That's my job, to get you.
Sorry, I'm trying to keep my expression on the good show, but again, I'm like, huh? Sitting down?
Yeah.
So do you have females and males, or do you just focus on males, or?
Both.
Okay. So ladies, so can I do one thing? We always do this on the show. We give out some goodies. So how much would a coaching class with you cost? Like a consulting kind of, like figure out if you're a good match.
Well, I talk to you for free, okay? And I want to know what your goals are. That's where we start. So we touch upon that. Okay. And then after that, if you want to, I always tell people, you got to hire me longer than a month, because you're not going to get nothing in a month. I always say, give me 3 months. You'll see a difference in 3 months.
What does that look like?
What does that look like?
Yeah, financially.
It's around 200 a month, but that's meal plan, workout plan, continuous talking,
that's not bad.
Coaching. No,
that's not bad. I've seen some prices out there that could make me not pay my mortgage.
Yeah. And then I have an app coming too, which is going to be very graceful. And when I get that in there, then I can have people go right on the app. Everything will be right there. They can just go on their phone and they can see what I put up for them as well.
I'm so happy you decided to join us and dealt with the whole technical difficulties. I wanted to have you for a very long time. I'm grateful that I met you. I'm grateful that you were helpful to me when I needed it. And I mean that personally, people. When you're hearing me, I'm saying it to me personally. He was very helpful to me. And is the person that I would recommend, is the person that I would say troubleshoot with him. Let's listen to what the experts have to say. And he has a good heart. So it's someone you can trust. It's someone who's been around for a while. Hey, I don't mean that in any other way than.
We got the same amount of years, so we're
okay.
But you may want to put my phone number on your advertising that you do after.
I'm gonna put all of my marketing guys are gonna put all of that stuff together, very funky, very nice, for you. But God bless you and your family. Stay safe. I am so sorry for your loss. I cannot imagine losing my dad.
That was rough. Still is.
I'm so sorry. Sorry. God bless you and your family. We'll talk to you soon.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody.
Sweetie.
Thank you, everybody. Say hi to your mom.
Bye-bye.
Say hi to your mom.
She liked you. She made a comment here that she liked you.
Oh, I see it. Okay. Same. Oh, okay.
You don't get in there very easily.
Caution.
Great.
That's great.
Thanks,
I see you right there.
We'll talk soon.
Right,
bye. Para todos ustedes que todavía están con nosotros, la semana pasada yo le había preguntado a todos los que estaban con nosotros, every one of you, what would you do if you had $100? And I got this beautiful comment, and I can't say where it came from because they have not given me permission to do so, but I wanted to share it with you anyway. And the comment was, with $100, I would be able to feed about 100 people, 60 people. I also would be able to feed some pets. And that's what I would be able to do. What would you be able to do with $100? What would you be able to do with $100? Y antes de cerrar aquí, le vamos a que no se me pierda nada. Le vamos a dar la oportunidad. Johanna, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for watching. Jessica Lynn, thank you for watching. But if you're watching my page and you're wondering how the heck is Lily doing that stuff, si están mirando mi página en estos momentos, están pensando, ¿cómo es que rayo que Lily que está poniendo todas estas cosas bonitas por la mañana? Yo no hago nada de eso. Miento. Eso lo hace mi equipo de mercadeo que se llama buzzads.com. Y tienen unos precios espectaculares porque ustedes saben que mi economía está apretadita. En cuanto a lo que hago, les quiero invitar a que me ayuden a hacer algo súper importante. Tengo una chica con 4 niños que necesita comida para esta semana. No para esta semana, para varios días. Tenemos 2 concursos. ¿Qué haríamos con $100? A mí me gustaría donárselos a ella y llevarle su comprita. ¿Cuál es el voto del público? Y tenemos otro concurso. Votemos por ese primero. Antes de irnos, ¿cuántos de ustedes me dicen que sí, que le debemos de llevar ese dinerito a mamá con sus 4 pequeñitos que en estos momentos no puede trabajar? ¿Cuántos de ustedes me dicen que sí? Voten por favor y me dejan saber. Y luego de ahí, pues nos vamos al concurso de hoy. A ver quién de verdad estaba escuchando. How many of you can vote and tell me that for the $100, we should give it to a mother of 4 who right now cannot work, and she could feed the family. How many of you would vote for that? And then we have our usual contacts. I have a vote here, number 1, to give to the family. Anybody else? Number 2, votes. Anybody else? Come on, people. Let me know. Yes, I would donate into the lady with 4. Yes, 4. All right. You guys let me know. Who are we saying? Yes. Alejo dice que sí también. Pocoyomba dice que sí. Who else? Bueno, mamita querida, yo sé que nos estás viendo y no vamos a compartir nada más que nuestro amor, nuestro cariño. We are definitely going to make sure you get those $100 that are donated by our friend, colleague, and supporter Jeffrey Dressler. Don't forget, pretty soon on our website, you will see them. Es el licenciado, es el que tú quieres, es definitivamente donde tú quieres llamar primero, especialmente si has tenido un accidente de auto. Por favor. So don't forget, Jeffrey Dressler is the one who is bringing to you these $100 today. So you just voted for a family of 5, mom and 4 children, to get $100 so she can buy her groceries. I think it's a lot better for us to give her the opportunity to go and shop. May she do it online or may she do it personally. Only she knows what her little ones need. Okay, you can take $25 today. $25 today. Okay, and those are from Latin Financial, one of our sponsors as well. $25 today. If you can tell me, let's see if you were listening. If you can tell me what Joe does for a living. What does Joe do for a living? Our guest today. What does Joe do for a living? First one up is the first winner. What does Joe Furnari, who was with us for a whole hour, was kind and generous, what does he do for a living? ¿Qué hace Joe? $25. ¿Cuál es el trabajo de Joe? ¿Alguien me puede decir? Y se lleva $25. Great show. Thank you both for having a great night, everyone. Good night to you, Michael. We're praying for you. He's a bondsman in Marisol, Texas. Marisol, te hacemos llegar tu premio. Man, she is always listening. So, there you go, Marisol. Para aquellos que quieren hacer unas preguntas personales, Ketsi, te amo, te quiero, te adoro. Mami, te quiero, te adoro. Mi prima Margarita. And all of you who are here with me. Ahora me voy al Instagram. Si me quieres hacer una pregunta, así sea personal, la puedes hacer. So I'm moving on to Instagram. And there you can ask me any question you want to ask me. And I will do my best to answer it. So go on to Lily Sin Barreras on Instagram, and I'm literally going from here to there. From my family to yours. God bless you. Talk to you soon. See you next week.